Hello!
Hello! The hens are fighting.
Last week we were stood, well, about 3 feet away from here, rejoicing that it was 5 degrees Celsius. It's a balmy 5 degrees Celsius.
It's even hotter today.
Today, it's 14 degrees. It's about lunchtime.
Yeah.
It's 14. I'm going to have to do that. I'm squinting. 14 degrees. It's shorts weather. You were looking at me dry knees, weren't you?
No.
I think it's something to do with my jeans.
You don't wear jeans, you wear joggers.
No, not like denim jeans, like DNA. It's like, I think that dry knees run in my family. Well, dry knees and that rocking psychosis. What's your favourite thing about spring? Oh, I'm a poet. I didn't realise. Is it like the longer days?
Warmth.
Well, it's warmer today, but I bet it's snowing again by end of week.
It probably will be, yeah.
It's like all the colour, like everything coming back to life, innit? Do you remember last week we showed you Blair the Badger? Well, we've been moving the camera around for the last week to get some more footage because we knew that she'd have a mate somewhere.
She has a husband.
And we got some footage of him too. And so we now know we've got at least a breeding pair of badgers. We know it's a male and a female because the male, like we said last week, is slightly wider, thicker in his face and cheeks, like that bloke who buys me them toys. Do you remember him? That nicks the batteries from the oil rigs off the coast. And we also noticed that the stripe between his eyes is a bit wider than Blair's is. It's thicker. And she's thinner in the face and the cheeks, but she's wider around her belly. And we think, and a few people have said the same, that she might be pregnant.
She is.
So exciting! Now, we know that badgers usually live in groups and they can live like 6 to 12 of them in a badger's set. And a group of them is called a clan, which is like Scotland, isn't it?
It is!
They had clans in Scotland. So we had to find a name for a boyfriend or a husband, because we don't know if they're married. And again, because we're going on the theme of Scottish names, I thought we'd call him Brodie.
Brodie?
Not like Brodie and Doyle.
That's Bodie.
Well, there you go. Not like them from the before you start saying, because we know what you like. So it's Brodie and Blair.
Brodie and Blair.
Now, because we think that Blair's pregnant, we don't want to keep kind of disturbing them, moving cameras about and getting footage. So what I've done is I've set the cameras up in a place where I'm actually going to leave them for a few weeks. And I can download the footage on my phone. It's got like a Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah.
So I don't have to get too close and disturb them. So not only might we have some baby badger cubs on the way, we've also got 2 new hens.
We have.
Here they are, Thelma and Louise.
Oh.
They're about 14 weeks old, so they won't start laying eggs for another about a month or 2 yet. The reason we've called them Thelma and Louise is because they're brave. Because normally when we get new hens, they hide away in the coop.
For about 2 weeks.
For, a couple of weeks, and they don't come out. These have come out on day 1, even though they're still getting the evil eye and the squawks from the other hens.
They're still getting henpecked.
And over at the beehives, which is where we are, I've never seen the bees so busy since last summer. Now up here in the Highlands, across most of Scotland, we have this plant called gorse. It's like a really thick, spiky, sharp plant, and it grows everywhere. And some of the locals really find it a bit of a nuisance because it does spread so fast. But it has these lovely flowers that start to come out in January till about June. And they are lovely. They smell like coconut, don't they, on a day like this?
Yeah, it smells lovely.
And the bees are going mental. They're working their little bee butts off, flying to this gorse and bringing back the pollen. If I slow the video right down, you can actually see all the orange coloured pollen that the bees are carrying back. It's like little baskets on the back of their legs. And once they get back to the hive, they climb back inside and climb up the frames, and they kick the pollen off, and it's packed into the little cells, and they use it to feed the new brood. And because the bees are coming back to life, I want to know that I'm doing the right thing. So I thought, who's the best person I can ask? Well, my mate, Lawrence Edwards from Black Mountain Honey. This is Lawrence Edwards. He is from Black Mountain Honey. And, well, hello to you. I don't need to introduce you. Thousands of people know you already.
Hello. Real pleasure to be on board. And I appreciate the very kind comments as well. But yeah, great to be on your vlog. I'm interested to hear what's going to go on.
Well, when I first got my bees last year, I spent literally days, weeks watching all of your vlogs because you have just got such a passion. You've just got this no-nonsense approach to it. You just kind of stood there getting on with it. Are you really as passionate about it as you come across in your vlogs?
I absolutely love my bees. I've got a full-time job as a project manager. It's quite a mundane job. I do a lot of talking and a lot of getting told off. And then I go out into the wild with my bees and I just have some me time. And there's nothing better than going out on a nice, warm, sunny day and watching the bees fly and just having a little bit of time on your own with the bees.
This is another thing I love about you and your vlogs, is you just kind of stand there and you can be stood there in the middle of this swarm of the angriest bees I've ever seen. And you kind of just stood there saying, oh yeah, they're stinging me, they're having a go at me. I'm like, how do you stand it when they actually do start stinging you? Because some of your thumbnails on your vlogs and your face is out like this.
Like that, yeah. Well, you know what YouTube's like. You need to have a good connection with your viewers. And I found when I was doing the videos with the bee suit on, with the veil on, people couldn't see me and I struggled a bit with the communication. So I thought I'll take the veil off. And I think on the first video I did it, I took the veil off and got stung in the eye within, say, 10 seconds. But I don't react too bad to the stings. So I think I just prefer to have the nice videos and the good communication and take the occasional sting. I've
just been showing our viewers how busy they are. All the gorse flower is out and they're just really busy, and I was sat there watching them for ages, just really close, just watching them piling in and out. That must be a good sign, yeah?
So pollen's so important for the bees when they're building up in the spring. So bees need carbohydrates, which they get from nectar, from flowers, and they also need protein that they get from pollen. And they use the protein, mix it with the carbohydrate into something called bee bread, and then they feed that to the young bees and the brood as they're getting bigger. So as the colonies are growing and building up in the spring, the protein's really important. And there is nothing better, is there, than seeing on a sunny day the bees bringing in copious amounts of pollen. Definitely a good sign. And it sounds like your bees are doing really well.
What do I need to be watching out for? What would you say are the top things I need to be watching out for in relation to coming out of that winter mode?
So March is by far and away the most dangerous month of the beekeeping year. But that sign when you get into March where they're bringing the pollen in is the sign that they're rearing brood and they're going to start building that colony up. And that is when they're at the biggest risk of starvation. So what you need to be doing is just going back in there every single week now, hefting your hives, as I know you have been. At any point you think they're getting a little bit light, add some fondant on. But as long as you make sure they don't starve, they'll come out into April and May and do really well.
Right, I've got to go back outside and see Sean now. See you later.
See you later.
If you want to know more about how Lawrence looks after all his bees, check out his channel, Black Mountain Honey. There's a link on here and down in the video description.
It'll be somewhere.
His apiary is brilliant. I want my apiary as apiary. I always get apiary and opioids mixed up, especially when I'm in chemist. They don't half laugh at me sometimes.
You're not normal, are you?
No, I'm definitely. I don't want to be normal. As you can see behind us, 2 of the hives are really busy. Hive 2, if you remember from last week, is the one that died. I'm going to clear that one out soon. But we're making space for the new hives that are coming and the new colonies that are coming in June. Now, a couple of them have already been adopted. I don't know if you remember us talking about this.
I do.
That we're adopting the hive. So you could adopt a colony and a beehive of your own. 2 of them have already gone. But if you want to adopt a hive and a colony, the details are down in the video description. It takes you to the website. It gives you all the details on what to do. One more thing before we go.
I didn't know.
Well, the renovation of the train barn has started.
Yeah.
But in a few weeks, we might be welcoming another member of the family. We can't say much about it at the moment. What we can tell you is that as well as the train barn renovation work, we're also going to be doing some extra building work to build a new home for the next new arrival. And this is going to be mega. You are not expecting this. Isn't it cool?
It is cool.
When I asked and they said yeah, I was like... Anyway, we'll tell you more about that when it's all right.
When it's finalised.
It is. In the meantime, we hope you've enjoyed this vlog. If you have and you're not already, subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up and hit the notifications bell so YouTube can, you know what I mean, get on your nerves and tell you that we've got a new vlog out.
Yeah.
If you want to help support the channel, it helps pay for like stuff for the bees and the chickens and the new arrival that's coming.
Yes.
It just helps us run this place. There's a link up above Sean's head which takes you to Patreon. If it's not there, it's down in the video description. I'm shattered. I'm going to whip my top off.
I'm not surprised you're tired. We've been here 4 hours.
I'm going to get the deck chair out and lay out and annoy the neighbours with me on show. Me Adidas socks. What? See you later. Bye-bye.
Ta-da! He says, come on, we've got to go out and filming. I ain't even had a shave.
Oh, you'd be all right. Love a bit of roughage, don't you? Down round my undercarriage.
Oh,
Bit
you
prickly, innit, then?
can't say that.
Were you looking at me dry knees?
Because he's on them all the time.
I wish. Rather have a cup of tea these days. Bit like, sorry, that's the horse doing that, not me.
Yeah,
Bees. Who'd have bees?
it's not going to hurt you. It's on my head now.
We've been warned.
He's a beekeeper and he's scared of bees.
Are you ready?
What the?
I still haven't moved that baby's arm you passed this morning. You should see it. It's stuck there. It's like it's holding onto you, bend. It was. It was staring at me. It had face and teeth.
Do not believe him.
It had a face and teeth, and you know I can't go if someone's looking at me.
When Colin says this will only take half an hour, book the afternoon off.
Every single set of outtakes, there's at least one clip of Sean moaning that it will only take 15 minutes and he's been here, however.
It took him half an hour just to set the camera
Or
up.
that he's not going to get his dinner, or every single week, isn't there? Shut the up. Why have I got morning glory in my head now? Well, I don't mean like literally in my head. You know what I mean? I mean like the thought of it.
That horse is doing what you do. You're taking a photo of its
No, waggy tail. I always get badgering and rogering mixed up, and that can be a bit difficult sometimes. Well, we know that badgers usually live in we having a wee wee.
No, it's the back door.
It is the back door. I don't know why I'm laughing at the thought of going through somebody's back doors, to be honest. We've never really been into front doors, have we?